Hey, beautiful Earth family. I wanted to share some insights on today's legendary inferior conjunction happening exactly on the Pleiades portal. This is quite a lot of energy coming in, and I wanted to offer some insights in what I've been feeling and how to best utilize this powerful portal for your highest good. I wanted to speak on the time that we're in this year. This year is an activation year for many people. We are being called to wake up to the reality and to realize that we have free will, to realize that we did not come here to settle for less than our freedom, and that anything that's holding us from embracing that freedom is ultimately against us. The last eclipse that happened was a very cutting one. Brought up many fears for people. Fears of letting go, fears of trusting, fears of embracing what's on the other side. What's on the other side of imprisonment is freedom. And imprisonment is anything that weighs us down. And with this Mercury retrograde, inferior conjunction of the Sun, it is asking us, where have we lost our power with the stories that we tell ourselves? Where have we become so rigid in our thought patterns that it ultimately keeps us stuck? Where is there a need for more flexibility? With Mars and Jupiter sextiling this conjunction, this inferior conjunction, this is asking, where have we lost our faith in God? Where have we lost our trust in God? Where have we stopped believing in our God-given free will? And where are we not implementing our gifts to the fullest of their capacity? With Chiron semi-squaring this conjunction, it is telling a story of past hurts. Saturn squaring the nodes for the past 2 months, and now also squaring this conjunction increasingly. It's telling a story of, past fears around authority, where we've lost our voice. Mercury representing the voice, and the Pleiades and Taurus representing the neck, throat chakra, our focal center, where we voice our truth. So it's asking us to let go of these stories where we're repeating cycles of distrust because of something that has happened in the past, and realizing that right now we have the free will and the wisdom, Jupiter, to act differently. And Mars is highlighting the need for this to come from our intuition, our instinct, our primal fire, so to speak. So this Pleiades portal, ask yourself, what am I passionate about? What are my passions? What gets my blood boiling? What gets me fired up? And how can I, through my passion and my love for whatever this is, create meaningful change into my life, ultimately into the world? For you are the source of consciousness from which all else streams out into your world. We are not a victim to anything outside of us. That's what this conjunction is highlighting. Sure, there are difficult situations. In many ways, the system is flawed. In many ways, the system is not in alignment with the natural order of things. However, we still have the free will to make the best, to use our gifts. This conjunction is also highlighting, what are your gifts? What are the gifts that you've lost along the way due to pain or fear or just restrictive conditions that may put you into survival mode? That's the key. It's time for us to start getting ourselves out of survival mode so that we can fully access all the resources that we've been blessed with and put those into good use, into the greater benefit of the all, which is ultimately the benefit of us, because we are the all. There is no separation, you see. So Ask yourself these questions during this conjunction. Where have I been the one to imprison myself? And how can I liberate myself using my gifts, my God-given gifts, to reclaim my power? Realizing that my beliefs are mine, that I only hold sovereign power over what I believe or not. I decide what I believe, and if that belief isn't empowering, I question it, Mercury retrograde, and I rewire it into something that is much more in alignment with the God-given truth that God is love, and that God is always on our side, and that God wants us to succeed, that we are God's children, and every parent wants their children to thrive and to be free and to live in joy and happiness. So what is your joy? It's another good question you can ask yourself. These are just some of the ways that this energy is manifesting. Of course, it depends on your personal chart, in which ways you will be feeling these energies directly. What I can tell you is that if you have any planets around the 0 degrees in tropical astrology, you will be feeling this one, especially if you have planets at 0 degrees Gemini, 0 degrees Sagittarius, 0 degrees Pisces, and 0 degrees Virgo. Could be within 3 degrees of either side, so 27 degrees or 3 degrees. However, these are the most powerful parts where you will be feeling this energy in quite a challenging way. The rest of us won't have as much of a feeling in it to it, but we will still feel it. And it's still a good time for us to ask these questions, to see where we can use our gifts, and our gifts, because when you connect to your gift, abundance is a flow state of aligning with your gifts and your joy, and from that you create whatever it is that you need to create, and there's no thinking, there's no analyzing, there's no doing it for any other reason than because you love it, and it sets you free in that moment. In that freedom is a state of mind. The war that we're in right now is totally mental. It's all about freeing ourselves from just beliefs and conditioning that isn't ours. So we have to be very mindful of our minds these days. The thoughts. Are the thoughts I'm thinking constructive? And Saturn is saying, if they're not, ground yourself. Ground yourself, connect to Mother Earth. That's also Taurus energy. Connect to the earth, connect to the abundance of the earth. Feel the strength of her, carry the strength of you, your body, connect to your body. We need to embody ourselves so that we can flow. If we're not embodied, if we're not grounded, we're not going to flow.